Hey, my name's Tony and I'm from the SUP company, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the SIC 10.6 Tao. So the SIC Tao 10.6 is really the heart of the SIC Tao inflatable range of paddleboards. As a result, it really kind of is a bit of a jack of all. It covers off a lot of different paddling types and a broad range of paddlers' heights and weights, really in one very usable and very stable package. Now there's a number of facets to this board that make it so user-friendly, but I'll run you through those in just 1 second. But overall, do you know what, generally to look at, I think it's quite an exciting board. Often you'll find that, I think this type of board, this all-rounder, for a lot of brands proves to be quite challenging, and they're a little bit conservative with their designs as a result. But SIC aren't. They've struck on this theme, this kind of bamboo wood aesthetic that they've got in this print that runs over most of the surface of the nose, back down, ties into this kind of tattoo type graphic, and then they've linked in colorways and broken up the deck pad. And it just looks good. I just think it's a really nice, clean looking, but exciting to look at board, which is a bit rare in an all-rounder category. So yeah, well done SIC on that front. But look, let's run you through the board from the nose down to the tail as we do in all of our videos. And the 10.6 Tao, starting out at the nose, fills out to its overall width of 33 inches wide very, very quickly. And this board, interestingly enough, at 305 litres and being 6 inches thick and 33 inches wide, means that it actually is going to accommodate paddlers up to around 110, 115 kilos with ease and be very, very stable underfoot. But the width in the nose and filling out that early on aids stability an awful lot. Nice little feature on the nose of the board, as we see on all SIC inflatable paddleboards, is this Action Sports camera mount. GoPro ultimately will kind of work seamlessly with that, but there is a M6 female recess in there, so you can fit just a standard kind of tripod mount or whatever else to the nose of the board. The nose also, though, isn't just its width that makes it interesting and how it affects the overall board. It's the rocker. And rocker is that bend in the board, that upward curve, ultimately. And in the nose, particularly on an inflatable, we see this across all SIC inflatables, it's very, very pronounced. And that aids seakeeping an awful lot. It just keeps it clean of any small waves. It makes surfing this shape and this board very, very easy, because you're not going to pell or lose the nose too readily as you come down the face of a wave. And it just makes it very, very user-friendly. There is a slight compromise to that in that it does reduce the overall wetted surface area of the board, its displacement, if you like, and a longer waterline length ultimately leads to more glide. So you do lose a few inches in the overall 10.6 length of this board in terms of its contact with the water surface, which does reduce glide ever so slightly. But I would say that if you're paddling in a very broad range of conditions, so, a reasonable sea state, a little bit of surfing, a bit on flat water, just general all-round use, that bit of nose rocker is really going to play to your favour overall. Working our way back down, small cargo net, does really everything you need. You're not going to be out on this board, on extended trips for any great deal of time. So it's there to service, a bottle of water, some footwear, small dry bag, fits under there very, very neatly. Nice little plastic buckle as well, so you can tighten that right up to make sure everything's secure. But that leads back to a really very, very generous, not in terms of just the area and the board that it covers, but also thickness, EVA deck pad. And this deck pad is really comfortable underfoot as a result. You could spend a lot of time on this board with ease, not a problem at all. I like how they've broken it up in terms of the colorways. There's good traction underfoot and it drains relatively easily as well. Carry handle in the center, nice SIC branded handle, neoprene covered, makes it quite comfortable to carry any distance. But yeah, a nice little touch in terms of the detail overall. Leading back down, another piece of SIC branding. And then we've got the valve integrated within the deck pad design and the D-ring that holds the leash to finish it out. One point that actually encapsulates all of this board over its entire length is what SIC called their ST which is their support stringer technology. So in terms of this here, this small ridge basically is a piece of material that runs the entire length of the board's surface, but also importantly is underside. And that there is put on the board at the point of manufacture when it's not fully inflated. That means that when you are out on the water and the board is at full pressure, that ends up being in tension. And as a result, that additional tension from the support stringer makes the board very, very rigid over its overall length. But look, let's take the board now and roll it up onto its rail. In terms of the width overall, you get a real idea as to just how generous the width of this board is at 33 inches wide. And that overall width in the nose, as I said earlier on, does fill out very, very early in the nose. And it runs back a reasonable distance down the board, but not all the way down to the tail as we see in some other brands all-rounders. And that means this board is going to be really responsive in small waves. And it just means that as an all-rounder, it works well in a lot of different areas. Ultimately, any board as a compromise is really just where you're prepared to make those compromises, and this board represents very little compromise in a broad range of areas. But you can see that stringer there running over the entire length of the surface of the board on its underside, running down to a standard US fin box, and it's a bit no fuss, no frills in that respect, but it's really giving you everything that you need and want. So as an all-rounder, well, who's it for? Well, I would say it's for everyone. It's for someone that really wants to start with some surfing. It's for someone that really wants a good stable board as their first board, or really in the case of family use, because of the 304 litres of volume, you know, an adult, say 80, 90 kilos on here with a small child, easily done, and it also proves to be really stable underfoot as well. But if you are in the market for a good all-rounder, then really I'd strongly consider the SIC 10.6 Tao. Thanks for watching our video. If you've got any questions about what you've seen, why not give us a call in the shop or head over to thesupco.com. To stay up to date though with all of our videos, well, make sure you subscribe up here and hit the notification bell. But to see our next video, well, take a look up here.